Hello again. In this video we will work on the first problem in homework 3. We have two problems in homework 3. The first is the financial application, in which we would like to calculate the TEPS based on the given subtotal of the purchase and the gratuity rate. So basically, if you are given, for example, $10 for the subtotal and 15% for the gratuity rate, in this case your program is supposed to print $1.5 as the gratuity and 11.5 as a total purchase. So let's get started. We're going to create a new project. We're going to navigate to homework 3, and we will call this select folder. We will call this here homework 3 codes, and we can create our first new class, and let's call this the financial application. Let's call it calculating tips, space, and this special character, and there we go. Alright, so here we can edit this one, and again, actually this time we can keep this. So here we are going to put any imports below. So notice here that from the wording it says write a program that reads. This is not very clear wording, but since it's going to read, that means it's going to take that as an input. So a better way to say that is basically to prompt the user for these values. So put any imports here. We're going to put our import, which is import java.util.scanner. Alright, so we can make a scanner to scan the input from the user. Then this is short one line here. This program prompts the user for the subtotal and the gratuity rate, and computes the gratuity and total. So remember here that this is a documentation comment because it starts with / and 2 asterisks, and this means that when you run the Java doc, it's going to list that in your generated web page. Here we're not going to add more information. I think that was very informative here. I'm going to say Basit Hamza. I'm not going to put the version. And here, this is the name of the class, but instance variables, we don't have any. So I'm going to remove that because this is not a content class, it's mainly a program. So we will be interested in having a main method here. Alright, so I'm going to remove this also, and we can make this public static void main string args, and then here we can write whatever we want. So in this case here we are going to prompt the user for values. We would like to take from the user two values. One of this, the subtotal, and this subtotal, even though in the example here it's an integer, but subtotal could be any number. So that's why we can define our subtotal to be a double. So double, and let's call it subtotal. And also we can have our gratuity rate. So here we can call it this gratuity rate, and then we will need to declare or define or instantiate a scanner. So we will use scanner. We will call it keyboard kb is equal to new scanner, and we will link this to system.n, and this scanner is ready to be used. So since we're going to prompt the user, it's very helpful and useful to print some meaningful messages to guide the user through the usage of this application. So system.out.println, and here we can say what is the subtotal or we can say, for example, please enter the subtotal, and we can put this $sign here, and then here, and then what we want to do is to read this and store it in subtotal. So we can say subtotal, the variable that we declared here, is going to be equal to the input of the user that we will read or scan through our scanner KB. So KB dot next double, and this way we read that. We will need to do the same thing here. Please enter the gratuity rate, and we can tell the user that this is in percent. So in this case here, again, we are also going to read a double for this, and in that case we're going to store it in the gratuity rate. Now once we do this, we would like to calculate the gratuity and the total. So here we did not define these two. We need to declare these two variables so we can calculate this. So we can actually add them here, and that's fine. You can go back and add that. And total. Like this. And then we can calculate the gratuity as the subtotal times the gratuity rate, and the total is going to be the subtotal plus the gratuity. And in this case, we can print that to the user. Some information, system.out.print line, and here we can say the sub. Here we actually want to print these two information, so we are going to just display them. Of course, you can add anything. You can add the information that the user entered first, and then the information that you calculated, but also you can just, according to the problem, we will just need to print these two pieces of information. So we will say that gratuity is, and that is in dollars, and then we will add the calculated gratuity, and don't forget the semicolon, and then the same thing for the total, and replace this with total, and that should work. Alright, let's have a look at this. Compile, let's run. So please enter the subtotal. Let's say it's 10 and here 15%. There is a problem that happened here. Now, since we asked the user to enter the gratuity as a rate, this is going to be 15%. But when we calculate, it's not supposed to be 15%, right? So in this case, what you want to do is to divide the gratuity rate by 800. So let's check this. So 10, 15, now it's calculating correctly. Alright, so this error that I've seen here, that was not compile error, it was not runtime error, it was logical error. I found that the output does not really match what I wanted to do. In this case, what I can do is I go back and see where is the problem, what happened, and I try to fix this logic until I get the correct answer. So this is the solution for the first problem.